All right, this is going to be tough, okay? But we're going to keep it real here. We're going to keep it real. The Emperor in the reverse. Oh my God. You are dealing, or we're dealing, there's somebody that is showing up significantly in the month of September who comes in with like a big nasty ego, okay? The Emperor in reverse can be very the opposite of someone, I want to say, who is like a leader, right? This is someone maybe more of a follower, but they act like they're a leader. This person could be, I don't know who it is for you, but it doesn't matter. This person shows up with like control issues, a big ego, the sense of entitlement, okay? But deep inside, this person is extremely like insecure. They might even play the victim role. At times, they self-sabotage relationships. They put restrictions on others, on themselves, try to isolate or imprison people that they're with, and then they go off on their new adventures. And, this is a very immature energy with the Fool. The Fool can be someone who's just very impulsive and just wants to do whatever it is that they want to do. And they throw their cares to the wind about, who they could affect in the space that they reside and whoever else is in their life. Okay, so obviously we're looking at someone who's quite narky, and we're going to, Spirit's calling you to listen to this. So we're going to take a look and see what the energies are, what your energies with this, if you're in this, what you need to do to get out, and what you need to do to sustain, maintain, and keep moving forward. Okay, so smash that like button and let's get into this.
Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to.
All right, Virgo, so the signs showing up here are Aries and Aquarius energies. Okay, so let's take a look here and see this Emperor energy. Like I said, this person likes to take hostages. They like to take hostages. They take hostages and then they go out and do whatever it is that they want to do. It's kind of a selfish energy. It's like this person doesn't want any commitments. They want the freedom to come and go, and they're protecting that. But they're really like fighting for the right to be a big old baby. That's what's going on here. They're fighting for the right, because only a baby gets to do whatever the heck they want with no responsibilities, right? There's no other person on this planet. There's no animal, there's no one who gets the benefit of living their life like that except a baby. Except a baby. Baby has no responsibilities. Can cry when they want, acts like, oh, I'm hungry, screaming loud. They want what they want when they want it, and you're at the whim of a baby here. This is what I feel like. Okay, this is what I feel like, right? And so this person tends to come in with gestures of love and kindness and romancing and being charming and making proposals. But with the Knight of Cups energy, this is someone that comes in with that energy and then they're gone, right? And I feel like it's a little manipulative here with these Knight of Cups energy, right? And then they're gone. All right, they might come in trying to do this like, oh, I want to have this new start with you, or I want to have I'm ready for the next chapter of my life. But understand, when the Emperor shows up in the reverse, this is just very immature. This is someone, it's like a teenager kind of energy from this person. Yeah, they make all these promises and they try to show you all this, maybe this bling, or they say, this is how we're going to live our lives and it's going to be secure and all that, but it's not really like that. Now, maybe you already dealt with this, or you haven't, and you begin experiencing this going forward, right? See, the Lover's in reverse. That's what I'm saying. This person, the whole goal is to romance you, love bomb you, and then victimize or play the victim, and then have like this separation or breakup, right? And depart from whatever these promises that they're making. So I don't feel like this person has any credit. They're not credible. Okay, this is the kind of person that, goes to the bank and says, here's all my credentials. They fudge all the numbers. They get the loan. They're given the trust. And then they don't pay back on the loan. And then the bank is calling and they're not answering. And the bank's like, where's our payment? And then the bank sends out a warning letter, and then they respond. And then they send out like a missed payment when they owe like 3 missed payments. So they try to, keep it like everything on point, like I'm really trying, I'm making the payments, I'm really trying. And then they wind up missing more payments, and they're getting more calls. And then the cycle keeps returning over and over, or repeating over and over. And eventually what the bank does is like they come and they repossess whatever the person used the loan for after sending out the warnings. This person, I feel like, tries to keep it from you getting away from them fully. So they kind of keep you in a lockdown position. However, they're not really committing to that. They're making promises. They're writing checks that their ass can't cash. Okay? They do a lot of blocking too. They do a lot of blocking. Or this kind of like go within, and this definitely, if you look at, every time I look at this picture, I always look at the arms. The arms crossed across the chest there is like a blocking energy, like you can't come in. Yeah, that's what I feel like you're dealing with. But then they come back, and then they try to, I don't know, like like I said, they come back and then they make a little payment. Try to be like, well, this should tide you over. That kind of thing. Oh my God. This is nasty energy. This is like a teenager that runs up the credit card, doesn't have a job, and doesn't ever pay it back. They just take advantage. Okay, and then, all right, now you got the King of Wands in the reverse, right? So that's the energy we're talking about. Fire energy. King of Wands in the reverse is, it could be a fire sign. Like I said, there was Aries here, but it doesn't have to be. It's just an energy of someone who's like, they're super bold. But the King of Wands in the reverse is very compulsive, impulsive, not ready for a full-time, long-term commitment or relationship. They don't have what it takes to be able to give this. And so they become very cold when they take off. It's like they just get this cold, maybe cold feet, or they just get this coldness about them. They just take off like nothing else matters. That baby energy. They don't have the capability to comprehend their behavior, that they might not even see that there's anything wrong with it. Like they know what they're doing, but I don't know that they see that there's anything wrong with what they're doing. It's a little sense of entitlement that they have the right to do this. Okay? And yeah, I mean, they have a new outlook or a new option, and then they run to it. So this person is extremely flighty and flaky, very irresponsible, very immature, and then they'll run to a new option if they haven't already, just to bring that other person into the same dynamic that you're in. It's almost like gathering up another source, so to speak, just in case you decide to leave them or you decide to get out. But we're going to look at you and we'll see what your energy is. Yeah, see, this person, they think they're the end all be all. They have that star energy. You know what they say about, people who are, when they think they're a star, or they try to reel people in with this energy, like, look at me glowing. They may even try to renew connections with people they knew before as well. Yeah, like a rotation, so to speak. And they pour out all their feelings on the new person, but the new person has no idea what they're getting into. They have no idea because they're bedazzled by the glow of this person's energy. The stars like fireworks. This person, your person here, comes in to whomever they go across and they bedazzle everybody with fireworks. But it's just, Jesus, like con artist or something like that. Let's check your energy and see. Because I do see that they return. they leave and then they return, or they try to give you, with the Six of Cups, a little bit of like, oh, we need to stay together. We have such a long history. We have a history together. Maybe they give you gifts. You know, they come in real innocent. It's kind of like, you know, it's almost like a little bit of like they're producing this Stockholm syndrome kind of thing where like you're chained up in the basement. They got you chained to the wall, but they're feeding you and they're painting your toenails, but you're still chained up in the basement. You know what I mean? So you're kind of like, oh, but you know, my abuser is just being so kind sometimes. Like, no, you got cuffs on, girl. You're chained up, boy. No. Don't look at all the bedazzling. This person's a bedazzler. That's my word. They're a bedazzler. I gotta write that down. Yeah, that's what they do. They bedazzle everyone. Okay. So let's take a look at you. I'm feeling real heavy fire and air energy here. Sun, moon, rising, or Venus. So let's take a look at you. Okay, you got justice in the reverse. So that, oh gosh, you might be feeling like you're getting some kind of karma for something. If you've been in a relationship with this person, you might be feeling like, oh, this must be my karma for something else, like negative karma. But you definitely know that this is unfair. You definitely know that this is unfair. They may even be causing legal issues. You might even have legal or financial or tax issues because of this person. Okay, but you might feel like maybe you were in a relationship before and something didn't work out. Maybe you're blaming yourself and now you feel like, oh, okay, well, I guess I deserve this. God, I hope you do. You're not feeling that way because you don't deserve that. Definitely not, okay? Devil in the reverse. I feel like for you, Virgo, I feel like you need to leave this abusive situation as fast as you can. I don't feel like you owe this person if you're going to break up or end it, or if you just start dating them and then you sense what's going on here, you don't owe them an explanation. History does not equate to you owing them any explanation. If you want to tell them, you're not doing this, goodbye, go ahead. Or you could just lock the door and not say nothing. Okay, you could just lock the door, not say nothing. I feel like you need to get your courage and your strength, and that's all that this is about. It's not about appeasement. It's not about being an empath and wanting to be loyal and true to yourself. People like this, if you're in a healthy relationship with someone and you want to end that relationship for whatever reasons, I think that's probably the better person to give an explanation to if you felt the need. But someone who's treating you badly, you don't owe them shit. You don't owe them an explanation. They don't deserve it. You're better to just, block them everywhere, just disappear, go off the radar, and never look back. I feel like that's the best course of action for you to take with this person. But you need the courage and the strength and the self-love to do that first, right? So I feel like you need to give the ultimate punishment to this person, and that is going cold turkey and disappearing and leaving them stunned that they have no control over you, that they will realize. I just don't feel like, if you know that they've gone to somebody else or you have a hunch, trust your hunch, because they're just doing to the other person what they've done to you, and the cycle will repeat and repeat and repeat. They're never going to change. Okay, maybe you'll catch them. That's what the Seven of Swords in the reverse is, someone being caught. Maybe you catch them, or they will get caught. Whatever they're doing, there's a lot of dishonesty with this person. And the dishonesty, I feel, is what you need to realize that this is abuse. Lies and manipulation and abuse, right? Yeah, get away from this because, the longer you stay in a relationship like this, your nervous system will be deregulated in the worst ways. And it will be so subtle in the way it affects you over time. You'll be like one of those people where you're just sitting outside at the beach and someone comes up from behind you and you jump. And you were calm before, but someone comes up behind you and you jump, right? Or you have you're in this constant state of low-level anxiety. Or you're not feeling relaxed, or you're having physical issues. Well, if you've been having them, that's from this. That's from what this person is doing. And if you haven't been having them yet, the longer you stay, believe me, it will manifest. It will manifest. You deserve to be fully loved and treated with the utmost respect and honor. And the only reason if you've been staying in this, the only reason you may have been staying in this is because you don't believe you deserve that. And if that's the case, listen, maybe it's the best thing, not maybe, you definitely need to get out of this for sure. But give yourself enough time to start loving yourself again because it will come back. The heart always bounces back. But you have to give it time. The length of time you were with this person is the length of time, half that time probably, till you get fully reset. You can fast track it if you really do the work. If you just sit on your couch and wait, it'll probably be half the time you were with them, but you can fast track it if you get into that healing, you face those darkness, do that shadow work, and you really sit with a therapist or sit if you need to. It depends on how long you've been with them. Get books. Join support groups, talk to people, whatever it is, and get educated as well, right? Because I don't even feel like it's a matter of what to say, how to say it, whether to stick around, hoping for change. That's like a drug. Because it's false hope. And I feel like this person comes in with false hope with that Emperor energy in the reverse. They want so much to be special to you, to anyone. This is like they're an empty vessel. There's nothing in them. You could pour all the love and appreciation and validation that you possibly can into this person, but if they don't love themselves, there's no, it's a bottomless pit. It will just go right through like diarrhea. It will never be absorbed. Yeah, I feel like this is just to be a drain on your soul. Some of you your attachment style might change being involved with this person as well. You might, because they're in and out, maybe they have a borderline thing going on, or there's a fearful avoidant thing. Not all fearful avoidance are borderline, but most borderlines are fearful avoidance, right? So, and it's not a bad thing. There's the person needs some kind of treatment. I don't even care if you're a mental health worker. I don't care how many degrees you have. A really good, informed mental health worker involved with someone like this going to say, babe, you got to get some help. I can't keep doing this. It's affecting my work. It's affecting my family life. It's affecting my mental health as well. You can be supportive, but you can't engage in a romantic relationship with someone who's abusive. Now, if there's physical abuse, listen, I just want to say this one thing. I live in New Jersey, and I don't know about the rest of the states, but New Jersey now has a law, an abuse law, right? So there's domestic violence, but that's physical abuse. But now they have coercive abuse. Is also, you can sue. You can file restraining orders for coercive abuse, which is more of emotional and mental manipulation, which I think is just as bad. Although physical abusers, that does go hand in hand. There are some people that aren't physically abusive, but they are mentally and emotionally abusive. So it goes hand in hand, right? So maybe if you're in that situation, look up the laws, right? Maybe, because listen, people like this, and I'm telling you right now because Six of Cups is there, these people, they always keep coming back. They always keep coming back. It doesn't matter how many boundaries you set or if you say no, they'll swing back around. For some of you, it's like they'll be like back next week, totally acting like nothing ever happened. Like you never set a boundary. You didn't end the relationship. They'll be like, what? Huh? Just seeing how you are. And if you give them a hard time, they'll claim plausible deniability. Well, I was just saying hi. I was just, but it's bullshit. Once you're like, no, get away from me. If they're not respecting that, which they won't, they'll keep doing it. Some of you, this person could be returning. It's been 20 years. These people will keep returning to your life, especially if you were a safe harbor, especially if you were the one that kept forgiving, that kept giving chance after chance after chance, because, well, they know how to press your buttons. You're going to have to rearrange your buttons, that's for sure. I know it's easier said than done. I know for some of you have an emotional attachment here, and that's probably what could be the potential to keep you here, because I feel like this person might be very good with their words and the love bombing. It's often something that can affect the brain. It gives you like that dopamine hit when they were gone, and then they reach out again, and then you feel special. And then you tell yourself, oh, I guess they really do care. They missed me. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. They're just checking to see if they still have access. All right, so with your cards here, it looks like you need to move on. Okay, look at you. You're the Empress. You're the Empress in the upright. This person's the Emperor in the reverse. You are creative. You are abundant. You are fertile. Everything around you blossoms and grows beautifully. You're gorgeous. Whether you believe it or not, you are. You beautiful soul, beautiful outside of your soul, beautiful physically, everything about you. You're a dream come true. And your person doesn't feel like they deserve you. It's almost a little incel bullshit. Like it's almost like they're punishing you for being so good. Like you do represent, like a parental figure for this person, and that's part of the reason why they keep coming back. I said this before. It's a little bit like when, the kid comes home from school and gets a snack and then goes outside to play, does their homework, whatever, then goes outside to play, and they're out there messing around with all the other people in the playground. But, after a while, they start like, they got to see their mother. They need to come back. They need to get fed. They need to get a shower. They need to, whatever. And then what this person does, they come back to you because you're like the safe harbor in a raging, hurricane. You're like the safe harbor. That's how they view you. But that doesn't give them the right. Like, that's like you having a child. You have a child here. That's what you're dealing with. Inability to commit, inability to express deep emotion. The Lover's in the reverse. The Knight of Cups is just kind of an in and out energy. This person doesn't want to get close. Deep, intimate relationship is really not their way. They can't form those deep bonds. And the Lovers, that's what that's about. It's about partnership, deep love, both people choosing each other and growing strong together. Like the strength of their love grows stronger together, not apart. When it's apart, it causes problems. It causes insecurity and a sense of feeling trapped and lost. Yeah, no. Say goodbye. If they come into your life, you don't know who this is this month, pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention. They're always there. They're always there right in the beginning. Don't doubt yourself. If you're picking up red flags, let's see what red flags for those of you where you could possibly meet this person. What red flags could they be showing? Oh my gosh. There you go. So let me just say, they could be in recovery, but early in recovery, right? So they don't have a lot of time on their belt away from their addiction. They may tell you that they talk about their ex a lot and how their ex made them broke, busted, and disgusted and took all their money and they were living poor, but they're trying to get back on their feet. That's a red flag, because then you got Bob the Builder there, or Barbara the Builder. Okay, this person's not, and they're going to tell you, but they're also going to try to elicit your sympathy as well. Another red flag. Okay, they'll tell you that the person that they were with, someone real special, ghosted them or didn't want to commit to them. or just abandon them. And I say to you, I submit to you to say to that person, well, what did you do to them? Call them out immediately. And you'll see their reaction. They'll stumble over their words. Okay? They're going to blame the other person that they were with and play the victim. Especially if they're bad-mouthing all the other people they were with before, whether it could be just their ex, just one person, or they could just be like, well, women are like this, or men are like that. It's so different. Like, I mean, this person is going to basically tell you in the first 20 minutes of conversation with them, everything that they've been through or they claim to have been through. Playing the victim is the very thing they're going to do to you. And I bet if you've been in a relationship like this, you will look back and see, if it ended, you will look back and see that was exactly the case. What else are they going to do? Oh, gosh. They're going to say, people just compete for my attention all the time, and I just can't stand it. Everybody's fighting over me, or everyone around me is fighting. Oh, really? So you're a drama queen? You don't like that? But you seem to be around it all the time? That's because you're welcoming it. Because people that don't have drama in their lives, they don't walk around saying everything is drama in my life and I hate it. No, they have no drama to speak of. Okay, so I feel like these are some of the things that you're going to hear from this person, or you have heard from this person, or if your person that you got away from is coming back around, they may try to bait and hook you a little bit with these poor me kind of energies here. Okay. I'm always trying to resolve the problems. I tried to resolve the problem my last relationship, and he or she ghosted me, or they took my money, and no. It's a sympathy thing. When a person is like, when you meet someone new, they gotta, like, that baggage needs to be, everybody's got baggage when they get older, but those bags need to be locked up and put away in a trunk somewhere. And that should not be the conversation that y'all are having in the first 20 minutes of a date. Okay, we're not meaning to talk about exes. This is somebody that needs therapy. They need therapy. And they're going to try to make you their therapist. No, these conversations when we're first meeting is going to be, well, so do you have any hobbies? Do you have any children? How long were you married? What do you do for a living? Do you like it? Simple getting to know each other, not these heavy-duty, dreaded baggage drama bullshit coming in immediately. And I think a lot of you agree with me, right? A lot of you agree with me. As soon as someone starts talking bad-mouthing their ex, that's a major red flag for so many reasons. So many reasons. All right, let's see. Anything else Virgo needs to know here before we move on to the other cards? Yeah. Let me just tell you, the anxiety and the stress. You could be having anxiety and stress right now. Maybe you're just listening to this. Maybe it's, triggering something here in you, but you haven't been sleeping, or you're just like in conflict, mental conflict. Maybe you need to go smoke a little weed or eat an edible or something and get into your happy place, because you're isolating in conflict and stress. Okay? That hermit's not in the upright, your natural way. This is like, you're not just in the cave, you're deep in the cave over this situation. No, just block them and be done with it. Okay, you got a new, listen, you may have a new opportunity, but let me tell you what, the person you're meant to be with is going to come in as your equal. They're not going to walk in front of you, walk behind you, they're going to walk beside you. They're going to be your equal. And this is what you need to hold out for, that equal exchange of give and take, the reciprocal, the meeting of the minds, the mutual energy and the healing, the openness. And hold out for that. Don't waste any more of your time, because unless this person, look, whether they're a narc, I don't know what their situation is. But if you're the only one working on fixing and resolving the issues, is coming from your anxiety, and you're doing too much, you need to put the onus on them and let them come in with the full-blown effort. If they've been the one who's been taking advantage of you or treating you bad, you got to bloody stump them. That's it. And if they don't come in with it, it's not a loss for you. It's not a loss for you. Okay? Because then you just get your answer. But you got to be willing to go. And you got to be willing to escape. And you have to be willing to... Listen, you can deal with your pain. You can have your pain now, or you can have it later. So which would you prefer? Do you want to just put it off? Deal with the pain later? I know you're not going to be wanting to deal with this when you're in your 60s or 70s, right? Because it's going to be, you're already going to have enough on your plate. You could deal with it now. Either way, you're going to have to deal with the grief and the pain of letting this go. My suggestion is deal with it now, because it'll be over a lot quicker. Look how fast this year already went. It probably won't take even that long. To fully reset will take a little while, but the pain, if you deal with it now, it won't last forever. All right. Chinese signs: tiger, snake, rabbit, pig, monkey, horse, ox, and rooster. All right, Virgo. A couple more messages here for you. What other message does Virgo need to have? Awakening. You're undergoing a spiritual transformation. Let this happen, Virgo. Let the awakening happen. Allow it to happen. You are safe and divinely guided. My whole table is bluish. Why is it so blue? I like the other color. I like when it's a little more like, this color. I don't know. There's something makes it very blue, very blue. What do I need? Like more orange or something? I should be doing this when I'm not doing the readings, but okay, no, it's not going to work. All right. So I hope you understand that. Part of me is like, gosh, I hope it doesn't resonate, because this is difficult. I really do pray that a lot of you are like, nope, not my story. Everything's copacetic. Everything's good in my life. I'm happy. And that would just be the best. But if you're going through this and it is resonating, I feel like it's time for you to make a major shift, right? And that eclipse red moon in Pisces was all about that. Some of you might have already been coming to this. All right, we have 1970. You have birthday on the 2nd, the 3rd. By the way, happy birthday. The 2nd, the 3rd, the 5th. Someone's 55, 53. Could be 70 years of age. 72, 73, 75. We have the 23rd and the 25th. You also have Sagittarius and Taurus. And you also have the initials W, P, and U. All right, let's see. Are there any other signs? All right, Capricorn and Scorpio. All right. You know what really gives you a little bit of a good dopamine hit? You have the letter B and the letter Y. Some of you maybe just need to go to the pub. Just go to the pub a couple nights. What really will help, I'm not speaking here on anything other than what I read. Is when you're feeling a little bit kind of like down in the dumps or depressed, or if you're grieving or feeling sad, a little alone time, a little buzzy alone time for the ladies, and for the guys, maybe, I don't know the terms, but a little 5-finger action might help you a little bit. I can't believe I said that. Okay. Yes, I can. We're Virgos. We're very candid here. Okay, we've got the letter J and the letter O. So Joseph, Joanne, Josephine, Joe. You also have the letter R and the letter H. Somebody might have like a RH factor. You have the 7th and the 12th. The 5th again. You've got 555. 5555. You might be seeing like 555 on the clock, or seeing that number sequence. 5s tend to represent uncertainty. So if you're seeing 5s a lot, it's because the Spirit's trying to tell you a lot of uncertainty in your life right now. Can't live that way. And you have the 9th as well. All right, let's get some charms and see. All right. Well, you have a unicorn. Okay. A unicorn. Oh, very unique, very special. Something might be, actually, you might feel like something about this connection with this person has an element of uniqueness or specialness to it. I'm not really sure. Maybe they made you feel unique and special in the beginning, or they try to. There's just something here about somebody has very pale skin and dark hair. Yeah, and you also have the Cinderella pumpkin. And who is it that brings Cinderella her shoe? The dashing Prince Charming. Oh, be careful. I feel like you're being given grace right now. I feel like Spirit's watching out for you and is going to be giving you some grace as you deal with this situation, which is going to be really relieving. Very relieving. I feel like when you get grace, it's almost like, I think of it in terms of like God holding you in the palm of his hands and carrying you through so you don't have to suffer alone through this. All right. And the last but not least, you do have a blue rose. Now, to me, that feels like cold love. There is such a thing as cold love or cold empathy. I feel like that's what you've been dealing with here. Or you might find yourself, maybe you had another relationship that you were dealing with this, and then you find yourself getting back into a similar kind of relationship. And here's the thing. A lot of people will say, well, how come I keep connecting with the same type of person over and over again? It's because your boundaries haven't changed, and the rules of how you determine other people to treat you. And that falls back on you. Okay, because these types of people are generally opportunists, and whoever gives them a chance, they're going to take it. All right. However, if you're not attracting just these types of people, you're attracting good people too. You're attracting everybody. Sometimes you're attracting mosquitoes and flies when you're outside, right? You're a magnet. You just are. But, magnets only attract what fits them. In other words, if someone tries to put a piece of plastic, if you try to put a magnet to a plastic wall or whatever, it's not going to stick because the magnet's like, no, I'm rejecting that because that doesn't work for me. So it's really, the key is you have to safeguard, make sure you know what your boundaries are, and demand to be treated with respect, and demand to be treated, fought for, honored, respected, and loved. And you may not have as many suitors, but you'll have the right ones. Yeah, that's my spiel. That's my spiel for tonight. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope you get the courage up. I hope you get your gumption. I hope you get that bloody stump going. If you don't know what the bloody stump is, I'm sure someone will leave it in the comments. Those of you who have been here from the beginning, I should probably just say it more often, but yeah, it's all about you putting up your boundaries and just saying, not today, Satan, not today. All right, you guys, so if you want a personal reading, there's a link in the description box below. Thank you for being here and supporting my channel, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow.